Thanks, John. Now, it's not a climb down, it's clarifying criteria. The words of the Welfare Secretary Ian Duncan-Smith as he announced changes to controversial cuts in housing benefits. Dubbed the bedroom tax by opponents, payments to anyone deemed to have more bedrooms than they needed were due to be cut. But now, families with severely disabled children and foster carers and people in the armed forces will be exempt, as Kieran Jenkins reports.
Two sisters expected to share a room or see the family's housing benefit cut. One with a severe brain condition, the other knowing it could never work.
You sleep next door and you can hear her through the wall.
You can hear her downstairs as well. So if being in the same room, it'd just be... You wouldn't get any sleep at all.
But today, a reprieve. A government U-turn on the so-called bedroom tax will exempt families like this if the local council agrees.
So what do the surgeons find?
Leading doctors who felt compelled to speak out on behalf of their patients are feeling pretty vindicated.
Well, it's fantastic news for the families of children with disabilities. It should help to relieve some of the stress on them. But it was wholly inappropriate to subject children with significant disabilities to the bedroom tax. And it might have taken some time, but delighted they've come around to accepting that.
Two other groups will also avoid penalties for under-occupying their homes. Foster carers living in social housing will be allowed an additional room, as will those who serve in the armed forces but continue to live with their parents. But there are no admissions yet from the government on how its climb down will be funded, or even that it's happened at all.
There's no climb downs at all.
There is about the severely disabled children, about foster carers.
No, these are adjustments already because there was a court case over the severely disabled children for local housing allowance. So this has nothing to do with it. This is a reality. We simply put the guidance out there to say this reality exists.
Labour accuses the government of living in a different reality altogether.
Today's announcement is not a U-turn, it's not a climb down on the bedroom tax, it's a con, and it's more chaos. There is no new money put on the table today.
In attempting to detoxify this policy, the government may well have opened a can of worms. Because with severely disabled children now exempt, the obvious question is, why not severely disabled adults too, with just the same complicated medical needs and, they'd argue, just as compelling a case to escape the charge?
There might be some sort of leeway with us.
Jason and Charlotte Carmichael made their case to Channel 4 News weeks ago and are now pursuing a legal challenge. Charlotte simply wants to join the growing list of exemptions.
There isn't really any difference. You still have problems as an adult as you would as a child if you've got a disability. They can get worse as you get older.
Despite the climb downs, the government insists this is a popular policy. Here are two people, at least, who disagree.